Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I apologize for the camera. I'm not using a tripod today, but I've decided that I need to start working on a project that I've put off, and it's finally come to a point that I need to just bite the bullet and work on it. And that is the staging yard, as you can see by the track plan that I have up here. That will go under here. And the first thing is that I need to make some clearance, about 9 inches. And unfortunately, with the 1x1 leg that I've got, if it'll behave, as you can see, the 9 inches is right at the edge of the leg, and the plan is that I'm going to take the fascia off and take this leg and that leg off and replace it by 1x3. It'll probably go just along the outside, and then I'll probably end up just recycling some of this 2x2 and leave it down at the bottom as kind of a bigger base for the 1x3. And then, of course, I'll secure it back in front. I'm also toying with the idea of taking out the back legs as well and doing 1x3 going down. I think that will, there isn't much weight to this because it's only a foot wide and it's pretty securely bolted down at each side of the layout. But I'm going to get the fascia off and toy around with the legs. I unfortunately used the majority of 1x3s that I had on a module that I built for the club that I'm in, and probably should have waited on that and focused on this, but oh well. So that is the plan of at least getting the fascia off and looking and seeing what I need to do. I have plenty of clearance, even if I've got to pull the tracks in just a little bit at those points, just to have a little jot in. That won't be ideal, but also looking at it, that's kind of the reason that I thought about doing the 1x3 on the back, because I would gain another inch on the back as well. So I'm going to toy with that for a little bit, see how it looks, and be back with an update. Okay, I've done a little bit more work, as you can kind of see here. Let me hurry and discuss that before I get working again. I went through and I knew that I had screws that were coming in this way onto the 2x2 leg or whatever it is, but undid those screws and realized I must have come in this way as well when I was mounting them. And in order to have gotten to those screws, I would have had to done a cut mark through all of this concrete patch and the rails there, but then also along there. I would have had to do some cutting here to release it. That was the plan, that this would be made to be released at some point, but I wasn't going to do that for 2 legs. And so I ended up just cutting them off. I'll be able to reuse them for supports along over here and back along under here. But anyway, that's for those legs. And that came off at some point. Oh well. I digress. The other thing is I went with 1x4s for the legs here. I cut them just slightly longer than what they needed to be, really pushed them down into the carpet, and then screwed them in. and you know, it's just as secure as it was beforehand. The only other thing that I was kind of impressed with that was a happy accident is this may only be a quarter of an inch. That's all that the gap was from when I put the fascia back on and adding the kind of bowed curves that there are. So all I need to really do is on this piece either screw that corner in or glue it. I don't know what I'll do quite yet, but I'll just fill this in with filler and that'll be good that way. So the hope is that at least tonight, I'm getting a late start on this because of some other stuff, but I want to try and get the first box in and going. So that's going to be kind of my hope, for tonight. So we'll see how far I get and give an update after that. All right, this is going to be the last part to this video. I got this frame put in. I kind of figured that was all the time that I'd have for tonight. And, I'm happy that I was able to get it done. I may have done it a little unorthodoxly, if that's a word or not. I guess just more unorthodox. But what I ended up doing first was measuring between this leg and that leg. And it was like 10 1/4 inches or something like that. And cut out the end piece there. And I cut a second one and put it here. And then what I did was took my longer level, braced it on the deck over here, ran it across, made sure it was level, and you can see a mark on the back leg there, but I did it on the front side or the back side of this leg as well. And then I took some scrap plywood that I had and placed it on there so that it would be matched up with it. And then for this one, I screwed it in. I just tacked it in on the front and then did a screw going this way on this side. And then on this side, put a screw going this way. And I figured with that and then the plywood on top, that should be plenty secured. And I may tack another screw going down that way for the plywood. We'll see. I'm also kind of leaning towards leaving a little bit of a gap for the leg. We'll kind of see how it goes. I need to get more of the plan put out before that. But anyway, I digress. We'll get back to this. I then took this board and got it kind of, you can see a mark here. I'm off a little bit. I'll get to that in a moment. But I used my big level again and used it to simulate this 1x3 and marked where the line was at and then put this board up with just a clamp. Got it measured down again with the scrap piece of wood and just clamped it there. That way I could measure and find out how long I needed for the long braces. I then took this board off, screwed the two braces in once I got them cut. So the screws are coming this way. And then once that was on, I got it put in. I put my track plan on and you can kind of see where the bottom of the helix comes out. And I lined it up with, the track that's going to come in that leads to there. And so I kind of just leveled this the best I could, and, went and did what I did of, lining it up and using it just the way, making sure that it lined up, but it also would fit. I've got it a little over so that it doesn't fall down. But so the track plan would still work on there, have plenty of clearance up out front. And so that's where we're at. Luckily, I only got 2 more of these to build. That's the hardest part because the plywood that I'm using, I had them rip it into 12-foot sections, or not 12-foot, 12-inch sections. So I can just cut it how long I need it, lengthwise, and it's already cut widthwise for it. So that'll be really quick. But I know I haven't said it for a bit on video. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed to the channel, and I appreciate the support of watching. Thank you for watching the videos and, continuing to do that. And we'll see everybody in the next update on the staging yard.